Imagine purchasing a single piece of clothing that basically carries the weight of your family's entire history.
Oh, and dictates how you breathe and move for like 12 straight hours.
Right, exactly. And on top of that, it requires this deeply invasive, multi-point psychological profile just to even find it on the rack.
The wedding dress is a total cultural heavyweight.
It really is. You're not just buying fabric, you're buying an identity. You're navigating these really complex family dynamics and making a massive financial investment all at the same time.
Yeah, and if you've ever worn a heavily structured formal gown, you know exactly what we're talking about.
Oh, that sheer panic 2 hours into the reception when you realize, wait, I can't actually eat my dinner or sit down comfortably.
The stakes are just incredibly high, both emotionally and physically. I mean, it's this wearable symbol of a massive life transition. The pressure on the consumer to get this one garment absolutely flawless is just immense.
Totally. Well, welcome to the deep dive. We have a really fascinating stack of source materials today, all centered around Bridal and Tuxedo.
Yeah, they're a nationally recognized family-run boutique located in Warrington, Pennsylvania.
Right. And our mission for you today is to unpack the complete anatomy of modern wedding dress shopping. We're going to look at the intricate engineering of garment design, the intense psychological profiling that goes into finding your specific style.
Which is wild, by the way.
It really is. And we'll also look at the hyper-local, community-based business model required to actually guide people through this highly emotional purchase. So, okay, let's unpack this, starting with the garment itself. Because to understand the psychological weight of the process, we really have to look at the physical product.
And our sources give us a phenomenal case study to examine that physical product. We are looking at a very specific gown called the Nedra dress.
The Nedra. It's part of the Locket collection, which was formerly known as Wtoo by Waters. And honestly, reading the description of this dress, you immediately realize that modern bridal wear is performing some serious mechanical engineering.
Oh, absolutely. It's not just sewing fabric together anymore.
Not at all. The Nedra features this classic A-line silhouette, but it's built around an intricately beaded corset bodice. Then, flowing out from that highly structured corset is this incredibly soft tulle skirt.
And it has those versatile shoulder sleeves.
Yes. You can wear them pulled up for support or, drop them down for a softer off-the-shoulder look.
And we can't forget the fringe beading. The designers made a very specific, deliberate choice there.
I was just looking at that. The fringe beading is described as bringing this, playful sense of movement. It makes the gown elegant, but still totally ready for the dance floor.
Plus, there's that matching accessory piece.
Oh, right. The one that can function as a traditional veil or it can be clipped on as a capelet. When I was looking through all these technical details, it honestly reminded me of modern architecture.
Architecture. I'm curious how you mean that.
Well, think about a modern skyscraper, right?
Yeah.
You have this incredibly rigid, highly structured steel foundation at the core that holds the entire building up against gravity.
Okay, I see where you're going.
That's the beaded corset of the Nedra dress. It's the engineering core. But the exterior of the skyscraper is all glass and light, making it look airy and weightless to the observer.
Right, which would be the soft tulle skirt and the fringe beading.
Exactly. You're combining intense structural support with total visual fluidity. I mean, is this specific architectural balance what the boutique refers to as getting sparkle without feeling overdone, the ultimate holy grail for the modern consumer?
It really seems to be.
Because it seems like everyone wants to look impossibly elegant, but we've reached a cultural tipping point where literally no one is willing to sacrifice their physical comfort anymore.
What's fascinating here is how the design elements of the Nedra dress actively solve that historical problem. For decades, bridal gowns were notoriously restrictive.
You looked beautiful, but you couldn't breathe.
Exactly. The Nedra dress represents a massive shift in garment engineering, where high-end structure no longer mandates physical trauma. Take that fringe beading, for example. It's not just about making a dress look pretty, it's about visual mechanics.
Visual mechanics? How so?
Well, the sources note that the beading doesn't stop at the waistline. It actually continues down the sides and the back of the skirt.
Which directs the viewer's eye, right?
Yes, it acts as a continuous visual line. That is a highly strategic placement. It naturally draws the eye through the entire length of the gown, ensuring that from every single angle, whether the bride is walking down the aisle, posing for a portrait, or spinning on the dance floor, the dress is visually compelling.
That is so smart.
And the Locket collection focuses heavily on this concept of accessible luxury. They're using luxury fabrics and heavy Art Deco-inspired details, but the resulting garment absolutely refuses to feel stiff.
It sounds incredibly sleek. The source even points out it's perfect for an Art Deco or candlelit celebration where the ambient light can literally catch the movement of that fringe.
Oh, that would look stunning.
It would. But this actually brings up a huge problem.
Mhm.
The Nedra is a masterpiece of engineering, but it's not going to be for everyone.
No, definitely not.
Like, the Locket collection alone features modern boho dresses for free spirits, destination beach dresses, simple chic silhouettes for micro-weddings, and, of course, massive traditional ball gowns. The architecture of the Nedra dress solves the comfort problem, but it introduces a new one, decision paralysis.
Oh, major decision paralysis.
Right. If you have 500 dresses engineered to perfection, how do you mathematically isolate the one that fits a specific individual's identity?
That is the paralyzing part for a lot of consumers.
Mm-hmm.
When you step into a boutique, the sheer volume of perfectly engineered options is just overwhelming. You don't know what you don't know about your own aesthetic.
Here's where it gets really interesting. We have been completely conditioned by romantic comedies and reality television to believe in this magical, serendipitous narrative of dress shopping.
Oh, the classic movie montage.
Yes. The montage where the bride walks into a shop, absentmindedly runs her hand along a massive rack of white fabric, pulls out a single hanger, gasps, and just instantly knows. It's portrayed as pure, unadulterated destiny.
Which is almost never how it actually works.
Right. Looking at the diagnostic tool that Dariana Bridal uses, their 15-question wedding dress quiz, it becomes incredibly obvious that finding the right dress is actually a human algorithm.
It really is.
It's not about magic at all. It's essentially a highly sophisticated dating app algorithm, but for clothing.
And the quiz is remarkably comprehensive. It maps out variables that, at least upon first glance, seem completely disconnected from a piece of fabric.
Yeah, let me list some of these basic parameters first, because the scale of data they are pulling is staggering. They ask about your ideal venue, like are you getting married in a grand ballroom, a castle, a beach, a rustic barn, or maybe a modern art gallery?
Which all require entirely different dress functionality.
Exactly. Then they ask about the silhouettes you gravitate towards, the fabrics you prefer, satin, lace, tulle, crepe. They even ask for hard numbers, giving budget ranges from under $1,000 to over $3,000.
And that's just the basic logistics.
Right, because then it takes a hard left turn into abstract aesthetics. I was looking at question 13, and it completely lost me at first. It asks, which of the following best describes your dream honeymoon?
I love that question.
But why? Are you relaxing on a tropical beach, exploring historic landmarks, going on a nature adventure, or enjoying city nightlife and shopping? Why on earth does a bridal stylist care if I want to hike in a forest or go shopping in a metropolis? Are they just making small talk to build rapport?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it is stealth data collection. They aren't actually just selling a piece of clothing, they're creating a complete psychological profile of the event and the wearer's physical baseline.
Wait, their physical baseline?
Yeah, the honeymoon question reveals a person's core personality and, crucially, how they prefer to physically move through the world.
Oh, I think I see where you're going with this.
A bride who dreams of a nature adventure and hiking has a fundamentally different comfort baseline than a bride who dreams of shopping in a major city.
Yeah.
The hiker values unrestricted movement. They will likely feel completely claustrophobic in a heavily boned, restrictive satin mermaid gown, no matter how beautiful it is.
Yeah.
They need a dress that breathes.
And the city shopper?
The city shopper might prioritize high-fashion structural impact over mobility. The stylist uses the honeymoon answer to silently filter out entire categories of garment engineering.
That is brilliant. It's literally behavioral psychology disguised as a fun quiz.
Exactly.
They also ask you to choose a celebrity inspiration, forcing you to pick between the bridal styles of Kate Middleton, Meghan Markle, Ariana Grande, or Hailey Baldwin. And then there's the fashion era question, 1920s Art Deco, 1970s boho, 1980s bold, or 1990s chic.
Think about the algorithmic implications when a stylist cross-references those specific data points. Imagine a user selects 1990s chic, a modern art gallery for their venue, and Hailey Baldwin as their celebrity inspiration.
That's a very specific vibe.
It creates an incredibly specific aesthetic narrative. The stylist immediately knows to pull sleek, minimalist crepe gowns with clean architectural lines.
It makes total sense.
Conversely, if someone chooses 1970s boho, a rustic barn, and a nature adventure honeymoon, the stylist skips the structured crepe entirely and pulls soft laces, floral crowns, and flowing A-line silhouettes.
It completely eliminates the guesswork. They're matching the physical garment to the overarching narrative the customer wants to project to their friends, their family, and, themselves.
But executing this level of algorithmic curation requires something massive from the customer.
Which is?
Trust. You cannot just hand someone a 15-question quiz on a clipboard, ask them to identify their deepest insecurities about their body silhouette, declare their strict financial limitations, and expect them to tell the absolute truth.
That's a really good point. People lie about budgets all the time because money is so tied up in shame and vulnerability.
To get accurate data on something that vulnerable, you have to create an incredibly high-trust environment. The boutique essentially has to function like a financial advisor's office or a therapist's couch. The customer has to feel entirely safe sharing their grandest visions alongside their strictest limitations without any fear of judgment or aggressive upselling.
And this environment of absolute trust doesn't just materialize out of thin air. It has to be meticulously built over time. Our sources give us the anatomy of the exact team who built it, which takes us into the origins of Dariana Bridal and Tuxedo.
It serves as a remarkable case study in modern retail survival.
It really does.
Yeah.
The boutique was founded in January 2013 by Franco and Wendy Salerno, and right from the genesis of the company, you can see how deeply personal this venture is for them. The name of the store itself, Dariana, is actually a portmanteau of their two daughters' names, Daria and Deanna.
That's lovely detail.
Yeah, and they didn't just slap a family name on a storefront and call it a day. The family is aggressively integrated into the local Bucks County community. They partner with St. Jude's Children's Hospital, an organization called Angel Gowns, and Wish Upon a Wedding.
They're constantly giving back.
Constantly. They donate to local schools, community bands, choirs, theater programs, you name it.
And that level of local integration inevitably caught the attention of national media.
So what does this all mean? We constantly hear business analysts talk about the retail apocalypse. Brick-and-mortar stores are supposed to be dying, inevitably replaced by the frictionless efficiency of online mega retailers.
Right, that's the narrative.
Yet here is a physical, tactile store in a shopping center in Warrenton, Pennsylvania, boasting over 1,000 Google reviews with a 4.9 rating. They landed on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert in July 2025. They were named a top 100 small business in America by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce in 2024.
And the founders themselves are highly recognized.
Yeah, Franco won the 2024 Mitchell Connor Award, and Wendy was named a 2025 Bucks County Parent Woman of Influence. Is the secret weapon to surviving in modern retail simply abandoning the slick, scalable corporate feel entirely in favor of a hyper-local, deeply personal touch?
This raises an important question about timelines, authenticity, and a concept known as clienteling. Look at the foundation date, January 2013. Achieving national recognition from Apple, The Wall Street Journal, and Stephen Colbert in 2024 and 2025 didn't happen because of a viral marketing campaign.
No, it took over a decade.
It was the result of over a decade of relentless, unglamorous community building. Countless retail businesses claim to have family values or promise a pressure-free, honest environment in their Instagram bios.
Sure, it's a great marketing tagline.
But consumers are highly tuned to inauthenticity. They can spot corporate lip service the moment they walk through the door.
Oh, everyone knows what it feels like to be aggressively sold to under the guise of customer service.
With Dariana Bridal, the marketing narrative perfectly matches the operational reality. When they claim to care about the emotional well-being of their community, it is validated by their off-the-clock actions.
That makes a huge difference.
The sources specifically highlight that their daughter, Daria, is a former wish granter for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Think about the skill set required to do that job. You are dealing with families in their most emotionally raw, vulnerable states. You are learning how to hold space for people experiencing massive life transitions.
You cannot fake that kind of empathy. It requires a fundamental level of human character.
And in a service-heavy industry like bridal retail, where you're guiding people through a highly emotional, financially significant, and vulnerable diagnostic process, that genuine empathy scales perfectly into their business model.
It's the core of what they do.
The reason they maintain a 4.9 rating across 1,000 reviews isn't because they carry the Nedra dress. Anyone can carry inventory. It's because the high-trust environment required to extract honest answers on that 15-question quiz is a natural byproduct of who the founders actually are as people.
I look at it similarly. The business model works because the people running it aren't acting. They're essentially emotional Sherpas. They aren't just selling the Nedra dress, they are actively managing the anxiety of the person trying it on.
The physical product is the garment, but the actual service being rendered is the emotional support and psychological safety.
Exactly. We started today by looking at the microscopic engineering of the Nedra dress, the architectural balance of corsets, soft tulle, and kinetic fringe beading. We zoomed out to examine the psychological profiling of the 15-question bridal quiz, decoding how preferences for hiking trips or 90s chic aesthetics dictate the very fabric put on your back.
It's quite a journey.
And finally, we took a macro view of how a deeply rooted, community-first family business orchestrates all of this to survive and thrive in a brutal retail landscape. It really makes you think about your own consumer habits.
It definitely does.
Whether you're planning a massive wedding or simply buying a winter coat, what is your personal algorithm? Do you know what your era is? Are you 90s chic or 70s boho in your everyday life?
Good question.
Do you actually know what silhouette makes you feel powerful, or are you just buying what the internet tells you to buy? We are constantly communicating our identity through what we wear, even if we aren't taking a formal diagnostic test to figure it out.
As we consider how we make those choices moving forward, I want to leave you with one final thought from the source material. Buried in the resources section of the Dariana Bridal website is a link to a blog post titled AI Wedding Planning Tools to Plan Your Perfect Wedding.
Oh, wow. AI is everywhere now.
It is. We've spent this deep dive exploring how finding a dress relies on a human algorithm, facilitated by immense emotional trust. But as artificial intelligence becomes increasingly capable of planning the logistics of our entire lives, curating our aesthetics, managing our budgets, and sourcing our garments online, it forces a profound question about the future of commerce. Will the deeply human, tactile, family-run experience of walking into a physical store, feeling vulnerable, and having someone help you zip up a life-changing garment eventually become a rare luxury of the past? Or is that highly emotional, high-trust retail environment the one vital thing that technology can never, ever truly replace?
That is the ultimate friction between digital efficiency and human emotion. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. Keep questioning the algorithms operating in your own life. Keep looking for the fascinating mechanical details hidden behind everyday experiences, and we will catch you on the next one.